Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. There's something weird going on with childcare. There's been a survey by the Coram Family and Children's annual survey that has published figures that show something very weird. And local authority leaders and childcare professionals are saying, well, yeah, we've known about it for years, but there's nothing we can do. It's the rules. If you have children and you're wealthier, shall we say, not in the lower percentage of earners, then you're entitled to so much free childcare. But because of the way that this works, it means that over the course of a month, people from lower paid backgrounds actually end up paying more for childcare than people in higher paid backgrounds. And this is very, very weird. A part-time nursery place for a child under 2 now costs an average of £70.51 per week, and a full-time nursery place for a child under 2 costs an average of £238 a week. However, and this is where it's weird, the survey found that families who are not in work or do not earn enough to be eligible for free childcare, because of the way the system is set up, pay £105 a week more for childcare. You see, if you are 2 people earning and you've got a good income because you've got 2 people working, then that kicks you into the eligibility for childcare bracket. And whereas if you don't earn that, then you don't, and so it costs more. Doesn't that seem counterproductive? 29% of councils in England who responded to the survey said they had enough childcare for 75% of children with special educational needs, while just 22% reported having enough childcare for 75% of children whose parents work atypical hours. Now, that's a very low percentage of councils that have an incomplete, that have spaces, and even then the spaces are incomplete and unnecessary. Childcare in this country is failing massively. For a government that says it wants people to work, the Labour government, it's trying to push everyone into work by taking away all their benefits, especially if they're disabled. You then must work to be able to help people work, provide childcare, subsidised or free, so many hours free, so many hours subsidised, and so forth. But doesn't it seem weird that higher earners pay less than lower earners because of the rules? I think this is one area where, there needs to be an absolute change regardless of who's in power. Now, these rules were brought in under the Tories, so they're not getting away lightly. These are Tory rules. But Labour really should be jumping on this one. This is pretty rough, isn't it? It's like punishment for poorness. Why would you punish people for being poor? Perhaps they think that poor people's children aren't as important and don't need the social care and childcare necessary, because after all, poor people live in houses where there's only a single mother and she doesn't work or something. I'm not saying that. I'm just getting, is that the government mindset? I don't know. But it's very weird. Something needs to be done. Strange story, but it just interested me. Hope it interested you. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye.